Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vuvu and this is Vuvu Vena Reads. If you are new on here, please consider pressing that red subscribe button down below and joining the family. If you are an oldie, a member of the fam bam, welcome back fam, and thank you for joining me once again. On today's video, I am bringing you my March TBR. Trust me, I'm gonna try to do my best to make sure that these TBRs come out a bit earlier than they've been coming out, but I'm getting back into the swing of TBRs. We have not been doing a lot of those on this channel and I really miss them, so I hope that you guys appreciate seeing more of these on this channel. So if you're curious about all the books I intend to read in the month of March, please do stay tuned. So Vena _reads is an amazing book reviewer, also YouTuber. She reviews books on YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, she also has a blog as well. So please, if for your connection with literature, get in touch with or follow at VUVUVENA_reads. She is based in South Africa, and I think it is also extremely important to follow literary content creators who are based outside of the West and in continental Africa, because they do a really good job of bridging the gap.
We appreciate you, Vuvu, for bringing us Turning Pages and for bringing us your BookTube channel.
You know, this is a chance for people to actually see some people that I really enjoy.
Please consider pressing the red subscribe button down below, and if you are returning, welcome back fam.
Vuvu, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
So you guys have been seeing the different TBRs and wrap-ups that I have posted already, so you know that I am currently rereading the xoxo series by Sarah J. Maas. So I will be continuing with the books that I already have, which are the last books of the series that have been published, which is this novella called A Court of Frost and Starlight, followed by A Court of Silver Flames. And let me tell you something, the first time I read the book was my favorite book in the series, and I still suspect that it will continue being the reason why I love this series. So A Court of Silver Flames, I'm ready for you, honey. I'm ready for you. And I do want to, I didn't put it on this pile because I was like, Vuvu, don't intimidate yourself. But I feel like, let me just be honest with you guys, right? Because it's the truth of the matter, right? The reason why I'm in my, really, I should have known. Okay, so I thought, let me just be honest with you guys. The reason why I'm in my Sarah J. Maas bag is because I really do want to get into Crescent City, especially because the third book in the Crescent City series came out this month, February, last month. So I am going to hop on to the next series as soon as I'm done with this one, which is Sarah J. Maas's Crescent City. Like I'm saying, the first book in that being A House of Earth and Blood, or House of Earth and Blood. I hope you guys can see that. What I am very unhappy with is that when I did decide that I actually want copies of these books, the trade paperback for this one was no longer in stores for some reason, but it was during the time of the second book, which is A House of Sky and Breath, and that's the size that I got this one on, and that's the size that I got that other one on, and I'm really not happy with that. So at some point I'm gonna fix it, but I think I want this series in trade paperback. So should I find this one in trade, I will definitely do that, because this is not going to, it's not gonna fly. But anyway, I do intend on getting into these ones, and then yeah, and then I wanted to hop onto some cassava books. So I picked up Like a Mule Bringing Ice Cream to the Sun by Sarah Lapido Manika. I have done a first chapter Friday of this one, so I will not read the back for you guys. It is by an African author, and like I said before during my TBRs, if we are reading African, we are definitely reading the synopsis for you guys as well. But for this particular one, I will link the video that I'm talking about, the first chapter Friday video where I read the first chapter of this particular book. The next book that I picked up was sent to me a while back by Jonathan Ball Publishers, and that's Black Girl Finance. And I did start reading this book, don't get me wrong, but I did fall off because I think that the manner in which I was reading it, I was using it to be very one of those non-fiction educational books, and don't get me that is the intention of this book, but what I've come to learn from myself with books like that as a reader is that because I love fiction, I love stories, I can't stop and start and do exercises as if I'm in class, you know what I mean? So it didn't work out well for me, but this time around I'm gonna read from one page to the next to the next to the next until I'm done with it. So I'm hoping that works out better for me and retain what it is that I get from it, because I do feel like sometimes books can be read more than once because you get what you meant to get every single time that you read it. So I'm gonna trust that process and give myself an opportunity to take from the book whatever it wants to give to me in this season in my life. I have heard that this book is pretty simplistic, but I do find that simplistic ideas do help you to get back into certain lifestyles, right? So I absolutely am looking forward to seeing what Selena Flavius has to say about this. And the next book that we are reading is a book that I'm reading with the book club, right? The fully booked book club, and this is To My Sisters. And because it's a book club pick, I might read you the back, and it says To My Sisters, A Guide to Building Lifelong Friendships by Renee Kapuku and Courtney Daniela Boateng. We've changed the structure of our book club. We are now reading our books over 2 months, so this is the March-April read. And for those of you who don't know, if you want to invest in a book, Scribd aka Everand has the audiobook to this particular book, and it is read by the authors. In case you guys don't know who Renee and Courtney are, they have a podcast that I didn't know about, but now I do. So this is, and I suppose the podcast is around sisterhood as well, so this is where this book was birthed. And I will say that I've heard, this is a non-fiction, and I will say that I've heard that it also has exercises, and like I've mentioned with Black Girl Finance, that's not my jig, but I will definitely interact with the book in a manner in which makes sense to me. So the back reads, everyone needs someone to love, support, and cherish them unconditionally, but our supporters don't always take the form of a spouse or a parent. What if the relationship you're craving is female friendship? From the hosts of the hit podcast To My Sisters comes this essential guide to sisterhood. Renee Kapuku and Courtney Daniela Boateng have one goal: to see women win. With their own friendship spanning a decade, their mission to reinvigorate sisterhood and redefine womanhood has turned into a global community of women helping each other to reclaim their power. Join these online big sisters as they draw from their intimate experiences to teach, guide, and show you how to embrace the power of friendship and community in an authentic way, packed with practical advice based around which of their 5 friendship profiles you belong to, and the way this impacts how you show up in your friendships, as well as reflective activities and wise words. To My Sisters will teach you how to find, build, and nourish lifelong friendships. Let's glow and grow together. I absolutely love the concept of this particular book. The next book that I have was a delivery from the wonderful people over at Pan Macmillan. I don't know why I'm singing, but Pan sent me this book that I have been, if there's a series that I absolutely loved last year, it's this one. And I'm so happy at the beginning of this year book 3 came out. Don't embarrass me. And they sent me a copy, so I'm so ready for this, and I am definitely gonna gobble it up as soon as I can. And that's the Atlas Complex, the 3rd book in the Atlas 6 series by Olivia Blake. And listen to me, dark academia, magic, the works, okay? And the 2nd book had these as well. Okay, I'm definitely goofing out. I can't even speak, like my hands are even shaking. So I definitely fell in love with the Atlas Paradox, which is book number 2, mainly for these the characters and how they've been depicted in these pictures of Chomi. It was giving the gives. If you can't tell, I absolutely loved this series and I can't believe it's coming to an end, but I really can't wait to see what she does with this. Book 1 definitely was my favorite. Book 2 was okay, but I really hope that this takes it home, and can't wait. Anyway, the next book is also a Pan Macmillan book here in South Africa, and it is by a South African author, which means I will read you the synopsis. But this one is part of a series. I think book 2 is actually coming out this month. I think this one came out last year. It's called The Thing with Zola, a novel by Zibu Sithole. And about the author, it says Zibu Sithole lives in Johannesburg with her son. She is a journalist with more than 10 years of experience writing for television and radio, as well as print and digital media. She is a published ghostwriter of many romance novels. The Thing with Zola is Zibu's first novel published under her own name. Oh, that is so interesting. Okay, this is what she looks like. I know the camera sometimes doesn't like me showing you guys these people, but I feel like it's also important to put a face to the name. But anyway, I hope it did the things there, right? Karabo Kholeng said, an entertaining, fast-paced tale about the extreme sport of umjolo. Finding umjolo, for those of you who are not in South Africa, is basically dating. Finding meaningful work and chasing life aspirations. Zola is an unforgettable character. You can't help but root for her. Okay, Lorraine Sithole said, I loved every minute of this novel. A delightfully complicated story of starting afresh, self-discovery, and finding love that is just right for you. The synopsis reads, 29-year-old Zola has spent the past 10 years working and studying in Europe. Thanks to a series of high school bursaries and opportunities that allowed her to escape the hardships of South Africa. But when her visa finally expires and there are no further prospects in sight, she has no choice but to leave behind her life, lover, and dreams she has begun to build in Germany and return home to an uncertain future. The Thing with Zola is a humorous and sexy beach read about a young woman navigating the working world, family, politics, and an unexpected office romance, all while trying to figure out her place in a country that no longer feels like home. Basically, it's complicated. Okay, Tommy. So that's that. I absolutely love this cover. Okay, so this gives me all the knows about who Zola might be, and this is the Joburg skyline, I want to say, and so we kind of know where she's coming back to. I think this is the Joburg skyline. If I'm wrong, child, I doubt it. I will be very surprised. So I'm looking forward to that one. The next book on my TBR is The Fraud by Zadie Smith. This one was sent to me by the wonderful people over at Penguin Books. Was it this year? Show me, it might have been last year. Okay, this one was sent to me by the wonderful people over at Penguin Books, and Zadie Smith needs no introduction. Something happened to this book, like it's really it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, but I am looking forward to this book. I've got quite a few Zadie Smith books that I have not tucked into, but I think that I will tuck into this one first. I've got Northwest, Zadie Smith on Beauty. I think I had a third one, but I can't see it now. But I will definitely start on this one before I read the older ones. So I'm looking forward to this. And lastly, on my TBR, I have another South African book over here. It's called The Soft Life by Lebohang. It's called The Soft Life by Lebohang Masango, and I will read you the back of this, but I want to read you a bit about Lebohang. This one is also a signed copy, so I'll read you that maybe during the wrap up. So about the author, and listen to me very carefully. All of this is about the author, and I am determined to read it for you, but that's what she looks like. I met Lebo Hang during the Gauteng International Book Festival last year, which was the second one as well, and she's absolutely delightful. Her concept around this book was absolutely enthralling. I'll try and insert, all right, I'll do a short for you guys on that. Okay, I think I've got it somewhere in my archives. Okay, so about the author, Lebohang Masango is a stay-at-home social anthropologist, writer, poet, and children's book author. She earned her Master of Arts degree from the University of Witwatersrand, South Africa in 2019 after submitting the qualitative research thesis that this book is based on. Her research is also published in Connected Lives, Families, Households, Health and Care in Contemporary South Africa, edited by Nolwazi Kwanazi and Leno Menderson. HSRC Press 2020. And Anxious Joburg, The Inner Lives of a Global South City, edited by Nikki Falkoff and Cobus Van Staden, Wits University Press 2020. In 2021, the South African Reserve Bank commissioned Lebohang to write A Purposeful Journey, a poem to memorialize their centenary. She is published in Years of Fire and Ash, South African Poems of Decolonization by Jonathan Ball in 2021, edited by Wamui Mbao, and To Breathe Into Another Voice, Real African Publishers in 2017, a jazz poetry anthology edited by Miesha Jenkins. Her poem 10,000 Stories featured in the Multi-Choice or DSTV Most Loved Storyteller campaign and has won a Gold Mama Africa Award and Gold Best Image Promo Award at the Promax African Awards 2020. She has read her poetry in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and the UK. Her debut children's book, Bumi's Magic Beads, David Philip 2018, is available in all 11 South African official languages and has been awarded the 2018 South African Independent Publishers Award for Children's Books, 2019 South African Literary Award for Children's Literature, the 2019 Exclusive Books EB Essay Award for Best Writer, and a 2020 Gold Pandoring Advertising Award in the Publication Design whole publication category. She has co-authored Grow to Be Great Awesome African Achievers with Dr. Judy Dlamini, Sfiso Publishers 2020, and Bumi and Jabu's Magical Day, David Philip 2020, with Professor Claudine Storback, the director of the Center for Deaf Studies at the University of the Witwatersrand, and it has been awarded a 2021 Silver Pandoring Advertising Award in the Publication Design whole publication category. Lebohang is the UNICEF Volunteer Program Advocate and an inaugural Zanele Mbeki Fellow in Feminist Leadership. Lebohang was voted the second runner-up in the Daily Mavericks Persons of the Year 2021 Youth Champion category. She is currently a PhD candidate in social anthropology. In her spare time, she reads a lot of books. Listen, I dare you to top that author biography. I dare you. Anyway, the synopsis reads: become more feminine and traditional. Tick. Only date men with money. Tick. Forget splitting the bill 50-50. Tick. It's giving a bit of sprinkle. Embrace the standard of beauty with gusto. Tick. This is the mantra of the modern soft life coach. This is the mantra of the modern soft life coach. Why live a life of drudgery and overwork when you can recline in the arms of your Prince Charming? But is this a new or passing trend? Romance and finance have flirted with each other for a long time. From gold digger and sponsor to sugar baby and sugar daddy to blesser and blessee, across the world and throughout history, whom women date has been as important as their career paths or where they live. Thanks to patriarchy and dating and marriage Thanks to patriarchy, dating and marriage are among the ways women move up in the world. In this book, Lihle, Jolly, Camille, Nomonde, and Bongi, women from very different walks of life openly share their stories, providing an insider's perspective on the life seen on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. The lavish holidays, the designer bags, the dinners and champagnes, and the luxury vehicles that make the soft life so irresistible. Feminist thinker, author, and anthropologist Lebohang Masango explores the many dimensions of this phenomenon, grounding her often unexpected insights in South African pop culture and prominent women who have made this lifestyle the staple of gossip blogs. This is a non-fiction, by the way, and this one is published by Tafelberg, an imprint of NB Publishers, and it was sent to me for review purposes. And that brings us to the end of the TBR. It's rather long, you know me, I'm very ambitious. As you can tell from the last wrap up, I didn't finish February's books, but child, did I read in February, or did I read? And that is the purpose going forward. That is the vibe that I'm inviting into the space. So I might share a lot of books with you. I might not read them all, but that does not mean they're not worth sharing. That does not mean I do not intend to get to them at some point in the very near future. So if I have shared a book in a TBR with you guys, I might not share it again until I have read it. So I hope that makes sense. Otherwise, thank you so very much for choosing me. I love you guys so much. Until next time, bye for now.